it does not mean that only this question is important. There are many other questions which are equally important. Let us go to the other side of the research. As I said, there are 4 other groups of people who are interested in this question. First are political science. What kind of questions are political scientists interested in? Political science, as you know, is all about study of power distribution. Power distribution. Who should have power? Who should be power? How should we distribute power among people? People have worried about this from a long time, which is good for the society. See, ultimately we want a society which is just, equal and all. Which method is good? Is democracy good? Is monarchy better? Or can we go for a complete anarchy kind of a thing? Which is better? People have worried. For us, appears to be an ideal situation for political science. Here, see, if a nation has to emerge, there is a need for all people to believe in some common ideals. Call it constitution, call it manifesto, anything. In free and open source software, we have this definition, free software definition and open source definition, which everybody believes in. What is the leadership model in free and open source software? See, in normal place only, if I tell something, how many of you will listen? Take a country. In an ideal situation, whoever is the leader, whatever he says, everybody should agree with. Does it happen? Or if there is some law, everybody should follow it. Does it happen? Where does it happen? We have IPC, we have CRPC, we have constitution in our country. Does everybody follow? No. But it seems to happen in force. Leadership emerges spontaneously, everything happens. And moreover, there is a strange sense of equality within the community. Nobody is discriminated. Nobody will ask anyone if he wants to contribute, what is your age, what is your gender, how much money you have, where are you from. Nobody will ask this question. So, the most important goal of human society, as political scientists see, the sense of equality remains in force. It does not still. How long is human history? What all experiments we have done along the human history for bringing some kind of equality in society? Are we anywhere near? You ask anyone, they will say, everybody has this. Only I am not. Perceived inequality is there in the society. People say democracy will solve the problem. We are all in democratic society. People there in Egypt and all, they thought that kind of system is not good. Let us go to democratic society. That may be good. We are living in democracy. Ask us, we will tell you. If you ask the old people, they will say British rule was much better than this. Or a little bit, people who have seen emergency, during Indira Gandhi will say, emergency time was actually good. Dictatorship is actually good. For India, dictatorship is what is important. You ask people, they will say, people will not listen. If you say using nice words, they will never listen. They want some dictator. I have heard a very peculiar argument that since Indian mindset is not mature enough for democracy. See, how old is democracy in India? 50, 60 years. Till then we were always ruled by someone. No? So our backs are bent to such a low level that it takes time to get up and stand and say something. So what India needs is a dictator. Somebody who stands up and dictates, India will become good. In fact, Upendra seems to be liking this idea very much. Film after film he proposes this idea. There should someone be a dictator who will rule everyone. To take any great political philosopher, everybody has thought about how to make an equal world. Everyone. I think one guy who came very close to finding a solution was Rawls. veil of ignorance and all. There is no time for you to discuss that. But there is something called veil of ignorance idea which George Rawls came up with. That idea was actually good. You should see that. He tried somehow, but it was not successful. The tragedy of human history is that any person who tried to bring some kind of equality into the world added more to the confusion. Every great thinker, everybody tried to abolish this class inequality, these differences between religion and all that. When they made one more religion was added. That's all happened. So we had more problems. Every great philosopher, every great reformer, every great religious leader added to the confusion, never tried to solve it. That's what has happened. But unfortunately, these failed systems which never gave up an answer can today look a bit false. False does offer some answers for political scientists, where in a very strange way, see, for a long time, people believe that there is only two ways in which you can manage common property. There are only two ways people thought. One is making everything private, which is what most of the people believe today in the world. You make something as private, people will take care of it. And every one of us, we do take some trouble to keep our house clean, right? But we don't seem to keep our roads clean because that's not my property. That's what Upendra again tried to give a solution. Give ownership to all the roads and other common property, they will take care. Privatize everything. That is one way to solve this problem. Privatize. Second solution offered is, let government take everything into its hand. Let there be no private resource at all. That's what happens in the communist countries. There is no private property at all. Everything government owns. So we think that there is only two ways to solve this problem. One, all owned by government, and second, all owned by private parties. But Foss has answered this question in a very different way. Hegel, I am not going to speak. People who are interested can meet me later for one. But Foss has given a very different answer for us. And very few people are looking at Foss in this question. I have seen only 1-2 articles regarding this, that in a very vague manner, but I do have some clear idea of this, on how Foss views this issue and how it tries to solve this public-private kind of bipolar issue on property. I think I'll stop here on political side and go to next because so many issues. The third group of people I said who are interested in Foss are psychologists. Because these people who study psychology are interested in many things. Some trivial and sometimes very important. Recently I saw a research article in a newspaper. It seems you can see the person's mobile phone and try to understand his personality. Psychologists are involved in such activities. Psychologists are basically interested in answering the question, why do few people do certain things? Why do certain kind of people do something? Why are you like this and why are you like this? If you ask a psychologist, he will give me a questionnaire and try to answer. You are of the personality type TP, YF or whatever. They'll say the personality types. What kind of movies you watch, where you go and eat. They will ask such questions and later tell me, oh, you are of a personality type TP, therefore you are doing this. Or maybe they will say, in your childhood you had this influences, you had these suppressed emotions in you, which is now coming out in this way. All that psychology, I don't want to go. In fact, people have tried to analyze Norman also like this. That in his childhood, his parents were separated, so he had this emotion and all that. Though it may be very interesting, in the sense time pass kind of a thing to read it, I don't attribute much importance to such studies. But I am interested in one aspect of psychology studies, on understanding why people are motivated to do something. That I mean. For example, what makes a young man go out and kill so many people in the name of religion? What makes one person to relate himself to person acting in a movie and give everything to that particular person who is only on a screen? Or why should people contribute everything to fall and then remain happy without taking anything in return? These are all related questions. And psychologists are trying to find answers for this question. They have come up with some excellent research which we will be seeing. I will stop. It's very fascinating if I go on. The fourth group of people I said who are interested in this are lawyers. For lawyers, force is a challenge to understand. Because from a property perspective, normal software itself is difficult. For lawyers, understanding software as property is very difficult. That is why even today, in the normal law course, they don't have a subject called software law. In some premier institutes, you have to do a advanced studies, a PG diploma in IPR. There they cover these topics. In fact, even you can do that if somebody is interested. That gives you more openings and more placements and more whatever. Job and quickly you can climb the ladder in society. So for law, cause is a very curious question. Software itself is difficult to understand. But somehow they have made some laws regarding the distribution of software and all. FOSS, as you know, has come up with its own licensing term and other things. So how to manage it? Law, people are very much interested, and Lessig Lawrence and others have contributed so much to this, which we'll be talking in our future classes. The last group of people who are interested in FOSS and whom I am taking first in my discussion from my next class are economists. Because economics answers one primary question in this way. Why do people do anything in the world? Economists answer like this. It is because they have some incentive to do this. That's how economists answer. The basis for economy is this. People will do something because they have to get something in return. I buy this to someone, I get that money. Why do I work to get this? Because I will buy, I get money. Incentive, economics believes, is the basis for every human action. You take any great economist, he has believed in this basic principle. Adam Smith, supposed father of capitalism. I used to hate Adam Smith for a long time actually, without reading. That was a mistake. But now after I read Adam Smith, I feel he was a good guy actually. People unnecessarily blame him. He did not come up with this idea of capitalism and whatever we are seeing today, globalization and all that, for which I have my opposition. Adam Smith was actually a moral philosopher. He wanted to see how will people behave properly in the world. So he came up with a theory saying that they should be, for anyone who is doing something, he should get something in return. And there should be no restrictions for anyone to do anything. That was what he proposed. His original idea was to see the causes and nature for the distribution of wealth among nations. So he said, let there be no trade barrier between two nations and all, which we have wrongly interpreted. In some way, I think free and open source software should derive its roots from Adam Smith also, because he believed in freedom. Most people believe that we are communists. But see, we should derive the principle from Adam Smith. Of course, Karl Marx also later Adam Smith. Economics, which values everything through money, has a problem in FOSS. That's a problem in economics also. See, what happens with money is, money sometimes make you wash your guilt. Why do people do something? Either they want money or there is something higher about it. They have some moral fear. Why shouldn't I steal? Why shouldn't I kill someone and take his money? Economic answer is I can go and kill someone. No, I will get more money. So there is an incentive. But why people won't do that? Because there is a moral fear. There may be legal fear. But above that, there is a moral fear. Why people don't go and kill someone is because they think that if I kill someone, I will go to hell. fear is there. Or if I do something good, I may not get anything now, but I'll go to heaven tomorrow. That incentive is there. But what happens is, if you focus extensively on money, you will see that money sometimes washes this guilt feeling among people. That is why people who make all kinds of things on one hand will simply go buy 150 crore crown to Lord Venkateswara, go to Tirupati and give it. All their sins are washed. Have you cheated in exams? Go to Vaishnav. Have you copied in your exams? Go to Tirupati. Give your hair. It will become 2 months. Simple. In somewhere I read this very interesting episode. How people buy guilt with money, wash off their guilt with money. It seems there was this kids play home. In the evening, parents had to come take their kids home back home. 1 or 2 parents were never returning on time, so these teachers in the kindergarten would have to wait for 1 hour, 2 hours for the sake of 1 or 2 kids whose parents would never come home in time. One economist gave a solution that let us have some punishment incentive kind of a thing. That you announce that there will be some nominal fine which the parents have to pay if they come 1 hour late, and which will add on in the number of hours. They come 2 hours late, more penalty. Let us introduce penalty which may stop people from coming late. What happened actually? Well, more people began to come late because they thought anyway they will be paying money, so they will wait. This is what happens. In fact, if you see why not to money and other things, not my domain to talk. But anyway, economists are always interested in seeing what incentives people get. Usually it is money to do something and how people interact with each other. False is a challenge. Because as you have characterized false, there is no incentive at all. People don't get direct benefits. Then why do they do this? This is the question which people have asked. So tomorrow, I will start answering these questions. In the first part of Feller Lakhani book, there are 3 research articles published. One by Lakhani and Wolf, which is highly quoted. Second is by Rishabh, and third is the economic perspective article, which I will take a bit later. These 2 I will take it together. Lakhani and Wolf research and Rishabh Wolf's research. Tomorrow I will discuss on this.